What's up, Timmy's here. Since actor Lakeith Stanfield has not one but three films out in the next couple weeks, like he has Play Dirty out now, he has Roofman out next week, and next month he's in that new Jennifer Lawrence film, Die My Love. Since he has about three films coming out, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Lakeith Stanfield film and TV projects. Because the guy I think is a really talented actor. Like he's been some. I only obviously have only just one TV show on this list, and the rest are movies really. But I think he's a pretty cool actor. You know, he's of course. I think he got an Oscar nomination, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there, but the guy is always incredible. So here is my official top 10. Number 10 is a recent one he just did last year, The Book of Clarence. Now, The Book of Clarence, took place in AD 33 Jerusalem, where, like, Clarence, schemed to escape death by posing as a miracle worker, Messiah, amid the rise of Jesus Christ here. And this is, of course, he's, of course, worked with this director before, which I'll talk about for another film. Um, of course, Lakeith Stanfield plays Clarence and his twin brother Thomas, who are cynical weed smoker because hey, I never knew that weed existed in the biblical era, but there's that. Um, but of course, he is like a weed smoking opportunist, inspired by Jesus' fame to a fake divinity here. And it's a really interesting one, interesting, like really cool music here. Of course, produced by Jay Z. Some interesting cast members. You had the likes of R.J. Kyler, Omar Sy, David Aiello, Alfred Woodard, Ben DeCombach, James McAvoy, some really cool cast members, and it's well worth watch there. Alright, number 9 is The Harder They Fall, which is from the same director of Book of Clarence. So, obviously they've worked together before here. Now this is of course a Western film where like outlaw Nat Love assembles his gang, including sharpshooter Bill Pickett, played by Lakeith Stanfield, and of course Stagecoach Mary to hunt down like Rufus Buck, who's a ruthless gang leader who took out Nat's parents here. Lakeith Stanfield, of course, plays Cherokee Bill, who's a flamboyant, quick draw enforcer here. And this is a really decent western that premiered on Netflix back in 2021. Now, I actually saw this one in theaters back then. And it's a really interesting flick. You do got like Jonathan Majors, Idris Elba, Zazie Beetz, Regina King, Dion Coe, Eddie Gaffegi. Some really cool cast members here. Really decent. Probably one of the better Western movies in recent years, in my opinion. I mean, it's a really decent one there. All right, number 8 is the one that got him an Oscar nomination, and that is Judas and the Black Messiah. Now, of course, this movie, won Dan Kaluuya his Oscar. And it takes place in, like, 1960s Chicago, where FBI informant William O'Neill infiltrates the Illinois Black Panther Party to spy on charismatic Chairman Fred Hampton. And here you got Stanfield, who embodies William O'Neill, who's a slick car thief, courted into espionage here. And Lakeith Stanfield's great. Daniel Kaluuya, Jesse Plemons is great in this. Dominic Fishback, well-deserving Oscar nomination for him. A well-deserved Oscar win for Daniel Kaluuya. It's a really, amazing film there. All right. Coming in at number 7 is Short Term 12. Now, this movie, of course, stars Brie Larson. I guess you could say it was the movie that really put Brie Larson on the map for most people. Like, she's been in stuff beforehand, but this was the one that really showcased her acting chops. Here, of course, you got Brie Larson, who plays Grace, who navigates emotional turmoil from, like, her own past while mentoring troubled residents here. You do got Lakeith Stanfield, who this was actually, I think this was like his first feature, if I'm not mistaken. But here he actually played a teenager at the time, where he plays like a 15-year-old resident on the cusp of aging out of the system here. And this is, of course, like Lakeith Stanfield's breakout role, and he did a great job here. Really cemented him as a wonderful actor. Of course, Brie Larson was great. Caitlin Dever was terrific. John Gallagher Jr. It is a really wonderful film there. Of course, it is from the director of Destin Dan Creedon, who will go on to direct Shang-Chi. And he's, of course, and he's the director of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Alright, coming in at number 6 is a little indie film he did back in 2017 called Crown Heights. Now, this movie is a drama that chronicles Colin Warner's wrongful 1980 conviction for for murder in Brooklyn. And here, of course, you got Lakeith Stanfield, who plays Colin Warner, who's an innocent 18-year-old immigrant whose life is turned lifelong prisoner here. And Lakeith Stanfield actually got a couple of award recognitions. Like, I think he got an Independent Spirit Award nomination for this. Well deserved there. He was really good in this. I can never pronounce his actor's name, but Namadi Askomaya Muga, who of course is in that new Jessica Chastain series, The Savant. He was really good in this. I mean, you had some good cast members. It definitely is very tense at times. Lakeith Stanfield, again, he does play a person who was wrongfully convicted, and he really plays the part very well. Definitely one of his better performances here. Alright. Coming in at number 5 is Knives Out. Now, here, of course, this is the first installment of the Knives Out franchise. Of course, starring Lakeith Stanfield as Detective Lieutenant Elliot, who's a sharp, no nonsense local cop who, of course, is like pretty much Benoit Blanc's partner here. And it's such a shame that he didn't really return for like the next Knives Out films, because I really thought he definitely had some fun moments to him. Definitely had a pretty like some interesting scenes here. Like, everyone always talks about how good Chris Evans is on The Armors, but I feel like not many people really talk about how good Lakeith Stanfield is, because I really thought he did play his part very well. His chemistry with Daniel Craig's really good. I mean, Knives Out is really excellent. Then, of course, the sequel came around, just as good. Can't wait for the third one to come out, so there's that. Alright. Coming in at number 4 is Uncut Gems. Now, funny enough, both Uncut Gems and Knives Out ended up becoming in my top 10 favorite movies of 2019. So, pretty much got like 2 Lakeith Stanfield movies in my top 10 list of that year. Now, of course, here you got Adam Sandler, who plays Howard Ratner, who juggles mounting debts, a high stakes opioid crisis, and gambling here. And of course, you got Lakeith Stanfield, who plays Demene, who's like Howard's charismatic, street smart associate who scouts celebrity clients such as Kevin Garnett. And I really quite like the chemistry between Adam Sandler and Lakeith Stanfield. They both did play off each other very well. I mean, Uncut Gems is just great all around. Adam Sandler really showcased his acting chops perfectly here. Definitely some really great dramatic talents. Now, Lakeith Stanfield isn't in it as much as you expect, but he definitely has some really decent, decent, he of course pretty much like has some nice talk opportunities and navigates the films like Tense Underworld here, and yeah, Lakeith Stanfield's a really good one here. And boy, Lakeith Stanfield should have like been towards the end. Like, he probably could have saved Sandler towards the end. But anyway, number 3 is the only TV show on my list, and that is Atlanta. Of course, from FX, starring Lakeith Stanfield, Donald Glover, Brian Tyree Henry, and it is, of course, a comedy drama that follows aspiring music manager Earn Marks, played by Donald Glover, and his rapper cousin Alfred Paperboy Miles, as they hustle through Atlanta's eccentric hip hop scene. Lakeith Stanfield, of course, stars as Darius, who is like their best friend, who's a Nigerian-born dreamer here. And Lakeith Stanfield really plays the part well. His chemistry with Glover and Henry is really good. I guess you could say this is actually one of the few things that really put him on the map for more people here. But Atlanta is really decent. Great performance by Glover, by Stanfield. Zazie Beetz is great in this. It's a really good one. Alright. Coming in at number 2 is Get Out. Now, Get Out, of course, obviously, directed by Jordan Peele. Here you got Lakeith Stanfield, who portrays Andre Hayworth, who is a kidnapped black man whose, body has been hijacked by a white conscious here. And of course, I really did quite like the scene where, Daniel Kaluuya is like take a photograph, and his nose started bleeding, and he has a going all berserk saying "Get out." I mean, yeah, now his scene is like, he isn't in this as much as we expect, but he is really good in this. I mean, definitely Yeah, I mean the body swapping scheme is very intense throughout. Lakeith Stanfield does a great job. I mean, I would like to see him do another movie with Jordan Peele. Like he was not in Us. He was not in No. I wonder if whatever Jordan Peele's next film will be, I do hope Lakeith Stanfield has a role in that, but who knows. And my number one favorite project of his is a very weird one, and that is Sorry to Bother You. Here, of course, it takes place in an alternate present day in Oakland, where a struggling telemarketer, Cassius Cash Green, discovers a white voice that, skyrockets his career to the upper echelons here. And Lakeith Stanfield, of course, plays the role of Cassius Green, and this movie gets really weird throughout. I mean, you do got Tessa Thompson's in this. You also got Danny Glover, who pops up, Omari Hardwick, Terry Crews, Armie Hammer. I mean, some really interesting cast members. It is really intriguing, very weird at times, because, again, it does get very, there is pretty much like a horse scene in this, that gets really weird. I mean, this is, one of the most weirdest movies I've seen of the 2010s, but Sorry to Bother You is a really decent one. Lakeith Stanfield really gave a good performance here. I mean, it's hilarious at times, gets serious sometimes. It's a really decent one, well worth a watch. Well, that's pretty much it there. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, the Book of Clarence. 9, The Harder They Fall. 8, Judas and the Black Messiah. 7, Short Term 12. 6, Crown Heights. 5, Knives Out. 4, Uncut Gems. 3, Atlanta. 2, Get Out. And number 1 is Sorry to Bother You. Funny, you did Get Out and Knives Out. That could probably be his Out trilogy. Now he just needs another movie with the word Out in the title. But anyway, that's pretty much it there. Now there's a few other ones I could have added. Now he did actually play Snoop Dogg in Straight Outta Compton, but he was barely in that. I always keep forgetting he was in that one, to be honest. Yeah. He of course, was in the Martin Luther King movie Selma, where he played Jimmy Lee Jackson. He was in the movie Dope. I forgot he was in that. So that could have been cool that there. But anyway. Let's see. The Photograph that he did with Insecure Girl, Issa Rae, Haunted Mansion, The Challenging, which was a nice little limited series on Apple. I mean, Lakeith Stanfield, I tell you right now, he is going to have an Oscar on his mantle before his career is over. The guy I think, is terrific, But anyway, let me let you guys. What are some of your favorite Lakeith Stanfield projects? Whether it's his Atlanta show, his film project, etc. Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Serious.